What is up, Earth's mightiest subscribers? It's Ernie, Blerd without fear. Welcome back to the channel. Alright, today's video we're going to be talking about X-Force number 19 by Benjamin Percy and Gary Brown. And in this video, we are going to learn how Kid Omega is going to get himself out of the Nightmare on Elm Street shenanigans he has found himself in, and more importantly, how he's going to get help from another Omega level mutant to help him take down his evil mutant self. That's right, it's going to be Dream Warrior shenanigans on Krakoa, so go ahead and bust out the docking so we can talk about all of that and more right now. But first, let's hit that intro.
Word to wise, grass only greener when it's fertilized. Gave them truth in these songs, they prefer to lies. Destiny beautiful, adrift in her purple eyes. You can't see me, you Stevie, wondering how I reach more evolutions than Evie and make it look easy.
So when last we left off, Kid Omega had gone into what is essentially the dreamscape, the astral plane. He's trying to find his evil self, and he does in what appears to be very Nightmare on Elm Street shenanigans. He's basically up against a Freddy Krueger version of himself, albeit a less funny one, and an arguably more disgusting looking version of himself. Now, remember when we talked about X-Force number 18, I posited the question of why is Jean not investigating this? Why is Jean Grey, an Omega level telepath, not trying to figure out what the heck just got into her head? And while we also get an answer to that question, and also I think the one that's been on the lips and hearts of all readers is, what does Cyclops wear to keep himself from accidentally opening his eyes and blasting the hell out of his telepathic wife? We now know he actually has a ruby quartz sleep mask that he likes to wear. He's out cold and he's not able to talk to Jean about these problems, and it just so happens someone is awake who can, and that's Phoebe. Phoebe is able to psychically link with Jean Grey and call her in to help Quinn, who is right now being chased and is running for his life from Kid Freddy Omega. No matter what Kid Omega does, he can't get away from this guy. He's at every single turn and corner that Kid Omega makes. Every time Kid Omega thinks he's escaped him, his evil twin finds him. Until Jean Grey is able to step in and is able to pull him back to the material plane. Now, this is one of those moments that's actually going to bring Jean back into the fold, because as Kid Omega informs Jean, Beast is dead, and though Jean wants nothing to do with X-Force anymore, she is the de facto leader right now because no one else can be. Now, while Kid Omega was inside of the dreamscape and looking into the mind of, Kid Omega Freddy, he was able to find something. He was able to see things in the dreamscape that basically kind of gave him an idea of where this person might be. You see, there's little things that would probably creep into your head, things that would become part of your dreams that are naturally occurring and existing in the space that you're currently occupying. So if you lived in, let's say, I don't know, Greenland, if there were any power sockets nearby, they wouldn't look like American ones. They would look like the ones you would see in Greenland. They would be a Type K outlet. That is what Kid Omega recognized. He was able to take this information and pair it with some other findings that he had. The fact that everywhere he turned, there were nothing but fresh gallons of formaldehyde. Sage is able to take this information and use it to track down where Kid Omega's evil other is. And it turns out they're able to track it down because somewhere in Greenland, a warehouse has been purchased and its electric bill has skyrocketed ever since. They're able to use this as a way to track down exactly where the evil Kid Omega is. Now, in order to take on this Omega level threat, they're going to need Jean Grey to teach them some tactics that are going to help them better fight against this evil telepath. The usual tactics aren't going to work here, so what they're going to have to do is use this mental tide pool that they created when X-Force was first initiated. This is something that is a way to help telepaths more effectively work their magic, thanks to all the salt water helping the body float, which will help them untether their mind more easily. Jean is planning to teach Kid Omega certain abilities, certain tricks of the mind, because now Kid Omega has changed. He's not the same flippant, sarcastic asshole that he's always been. He's not a bad person like he used to be. He's changed, and now Jean is ready to show him how to navigate the dreamscape and how to slip into someone else's mind undetected, something that even she warns is something they shouldn't be using willy-nilly after this mission's over with, because even as she points out, the last thing that you would ever want to do is to slip into the mind of someone who you care about and find out that they're secretly spending their nights elsewhere. Now, this could be an allusion to a great many things. This could be an allusion to the fact that Cyclops and Emma Frost aren't exactly done with one another. It could also be an allusion to the fact that back in the day, back in the 90s, when Cyclops used to get the mind mojo put on him by Psylocke. And this could even also be allusions to Madeline Pryor and a great many other things. But point of the matter is, Jean is trying to give them fair warning that this is not something that you use lightly. And armed with their psychic weapons, Kid Omega and Phoebe dive in and they're able to find this evil Kid Omega. All the while Jean and Domino are infiltrating the actual base in Greenland where the host body of the evil Kid Omega is hiding. Something that brings Domino a great deal of pleasure because even though she doesn't remember her time being in the facility being trapped by XENO and being experimented on, she does have a sneaking suspicion she's been here before and that she doesn't like where she is and she wants to destroy it. So Domino is the perfect person to tag along on this mission. They're able to infiltrate and get to the base all the while Kid Omega is fighting his evil self. While all this is going on, Black Tom Cassidy, who had been affected by the evil Kid Omega in the previous issue, he is still possessed by him, and the evil Kid Omega is piloting him to the tide pools in the X-Force headquarters to try and kill Kid Omega before Kid Omega can kill him. And it is a struggle that Quinn Quire is struggling to kill himself because even he has to admit that his other self is incredibly powerful. His other self is an Omega level mutant like himself. And as Jean pointed out earlier, Kid Omega recognizes he himself is an Omega level mutant everywhere except in his heart. He's going to have to embrace who he truly is if he is to overcome his evil self. Which means he has to accept that this evil version of him is the absolute worst version of who he truly is, and he admits that he's already killed that version of himself. That version of himself no longer exists because now he's trying to become a better person. He's no longer the person he used to be that this monster represents. Taking a psionic desert eagle and blowing the evil Kid Omega's brains out, leaving behind this husk, this shell of this clone Kid Omega that Jean and Domino don't have to put a bullet in, and also freeing Black Tom Cassidy of being mind controlled. And now this leads to an even bigger question. The entire time this has all been going on, X-Force has kind of been on the back foot when it comes to XENO. XENO has always managed to stay one step ahead of them. They've managed to remain in the shadows and not be caught or found out. And now that Jean and Domino are sitting in the middle of a XENO facility, they now have an opportunity to track down the evidence necessary to try and find anything humanly possible that can help them find XENO and put an end to this once and for all. Because even Jean has to recognize XENO's not done yet. If they were able to create their own version of Kid Omega, imagine what else they're going to be able to create. Remember, they have Wolverine's DNA. They could create their own Wolverine. They still have Domino's DNA. If they really wanted to, they could probably create another Domino, and who knows what else XENO has up their sleeve. This has been XENO's whole MO the entire time, is to create the next step in human evolution and to make it human. They want to create more powerful humans to take down mutants. They basically want to create post-humans, even though post-humans already exist. Right now, this is, short of the Children of the Vault, the biggest threat that the X-Men have to face right now. Well, that and the Patchwork Man. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, Hulk smash that like button and make sure to share this video all over the internet with all your friends so that they'll know how you leveled up your comic book big brain in regards to X-Force and Reign of X. Also, on your way out, make sure to hit that subscribe button and let me know what you thought about X-Force number 19. Keep it plus ultra and sound off in the comments.